So today's Nam Academy will hopefully be really short, and I'm just going to talk about a very basic aspect of communication. And so here, I call this conscious communication to the mind and body, CCMB. So here's an affirmation that you can kind of try, saying to yourself, mind and body, referring to your own mind and body, send this prayer. If you're not into prayer, use the word request. Send this request. God, universe, Vaheguru, Allah, Jesus, Muhammad, nature, whatever it is in me that inspires awe, whatever you want to put in there. You put in this blank, and then you just ask for whatever you need help with. I need help with sleep. I need help with stopping drugs. I need help with feeling safer. I need help with healing. I need help with getting food for tonight. Whatever it is that you need, the ways to pray are many, but what I want to talk about is this part of it. A lot of people, the world is full of people who have at some point in their life, as children, as adults, prayed. And their prayers went unanswered. The bad things kept happening, good things never came. And like most experimental beings, if something's not working, we eventually give up on it. That's not bad, that's not heathen, that's not anything other than human nature. I just want to talk about why that is. And just a way to understand it. So, when you set an intention, okay, you compose this little dot. You want something, okay? Universe, please help me begin the process of healing. Or, universe, please help me realize that I'm powerless over my addiction and that my life had become unmanageable. That's step one. So what that represents is a thought, a beam of light, okay? A beam of light, Chandan. So you can your step one. Let's say it's the step one prayer. So you say it, and then through saying it, a beam goes out, and you think it goes straight to God or to the universe, but it doesn't. Or at least, we're not really sure, but one thing we've noticed is it seems to actually pass through, and I'm just going to draw this as like a little prism. So a prism is a piece of glass that scatters. So, rainbows, right? There's the sun, and then there's like rain from a cloud, a lot of rain, and then the sunlight, it refracts off of the rain, and instead of white light, like what you see when it's clear, you get a rainbow, right? You ever see that? Rainbow? That's what rainbows are. They're white light that then passes through all that water, and the water reflects it and separates it into the components of the light. So you get the rainbow, purple and blue and, all the way to red. You get the spectrum. It's a rainbow. So, as you've noticed with all things in Nam Academy, I like to go and talk about physics. Nature of the world is the same as the nature of our mind. I like the science I see no conflict between religion and spirituality and science. That's just my humble opinion. So, what happens, you put out a thought, you put out a prayer, you put out an intention, I want this. What happens is it goes into your mind and it becomes refracted. It becomes scattered. In a lot of different little ways. And let's say your destination is right here. This is what you need to hear it. Now, is this as strong as what was originally sent out? Unni takdi hai jehdi pehla sigi? Or did it get weaker? It got weaker, right? It lost its intensity. That's what happens to light. So then, if this is a laser and the laser gets divided, it's not going to do the job. It's not going to cause the heat. It's not going to, whatever it is that light is supposed to do, it's going to be much weaker than where it started. Okay? And so, this is what the mind and body do. I don't know how, I don't know why. That's above my pay grade. Just an addiction doctor. But the reality is for some reason, the brain or the mind and the body within it takes thoughts and then scatters them. So an example is I want to heal. You say that to yourself right now. I want to heal. And then notice immediately what floods your brain. It's like the 50 other things you can't heal. It's not possible. It's not this, it's not that. Or other things that say, yeah, heal, but heal like this. He'll do this. Like, one thought produces many. That's refraction, okay? You see that? You put in the energy to put the thought out, and then your brain responds through its many ego state systems, because the mind is fractured, and the more trauma you got, the more stuff you got, the more generational things, the more it's going to do this. And all addiction, as you know, from what I say at least, is overly simplified, and it's all really a lot of complex PTSD stuff. So you have a mind, and everybody's mind is like this to varying degrees, that a thought form then hits and it becomes scattered. And whatever the intention of that, so like if this is meant to go to God or a higher power, instead of 100% intensity, you get 1%. And what that means is you're going to have to do that same thing 100 times to make it up. But you do it 5 times, you lose faith and you stop and you don't bother. We do a lot of that with a lot of things in life. We try it for a while, it doesn't work, we think it doesn't work, and then we spend 5 years messing stuff up or getting messed up and come back to it. This is the nature of recovery journeys. And I'm just trying to explain a concept, which is why. It's because the mind refracts thought. And the mind that's disturbed is really, really good at refracting healing thought. It's not very good at refracting, I want to drink. It ain't going to refract that one. That one's going to full intensity. But if you're a disturbed person and you want to heal, your mind will be very good at refracting that intention. Understand? Does that make sense? समझोंदिए जी? So, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦੁਖੀ ਹੈ ਦਿਮਾਗ, ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਦਮੀ ਸੁਖੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਸ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਸੁਖੀ ਵਾਲੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਮੈਂ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ no ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਇਹ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਹ ਕਰਨਾ ਬਾਨੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ right it all come out and get refracted so that's the end result is that you get inefficiency okay to be able to not be able to draw 1% there we go 1% receipt so what can we do to address this well there are things you can do to address this. The more you do recovery, the more you condition your mind. So they say meditate. They do, you know, when you meditate, what you do is you're able to hold a thought form with more clarity. You can increase the size of the beam. Right? You can do things like that. When you do healing kind of things, lots of them in the world, right? Connect to self, connect to others, commit to daily practice. Your prism will be more focused. But today, I just want to talk about the technology of this statement. So, this is suboptimal. So now I'm going to draw something that could be done. So this is actually if you take this, and let's put some poles on it, right? That's kind of cool. So let's say it's kind of like it's got like a north and a south, right? North and south. So an interesting thing about light is if you put another prism right here, so you put another prism here, but you flip it, what happens is the light kind of enters and gets refocused back into the light. Okay? It's just like a mirror thing. This is how cameras work. This is how telescopes work. You know, looking at the sky. This is how they look at skies, right? Is they refract light, they do this lens thing, and then you get the energy back. And your communication is now received. So if that's to your higher power, you know, whatever that is, wherever it is, or other people even. So what we need to figure out is how to increase the amount of energy that goes. And so if your mind scatters thoughts, you can also do the opposite. And a really interesting way to just try this out is you can collect your mind with a command, a direct command. So you have the man nu keh sakde hain, "Eh man mereya, aa ardas bhejo." You say to your mind and body, send this prayer. What happens when you do that is you create a specific instruction. Most people, they ignore their mind. They think their mind and them are the same. And they lose their power, much like a horse. A rider is riding a horse, no reins, and just la 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 la, I'm in control. I guess I want to go drink water now, because, you know, I'm at water, and oh la la la, now I'm grazing grass. You know, मैं घोड़े ते मैं हुन पेशाब करन गया, हुन मैं Pani pina, and the rider's like, yeah, I guess I want to do this now. I guess I want to do that. Well, I'd really like to be at the castle, but I guess I want to do this. The rider is confused. The rider thinks the rider and the horse are the same, but the rider is different and the horse is different. Your relationship with your mind is that of a rider and a horse. A trained horse will intuitively know what the rider wants. May not even need reins. An untrained horse will need direction. If you're in recovery, especially early recovery, your mind is an untrained horse. Untrained, that training should have happened in childhood, didn't. Things sort of spiraled, and now we're here. Which isn't a bad place to be. Most people out there in the world, people may not like this, but they have untrained minds. Their minds are not trained. The lucky ones are here, learning. So, in order to train the mind, you have to develop a way to command the mind. And this is just a simple way. You can just say, mind, do this. And you think, oh, couldn't be that easy. Well, try it. Say this prayer right now, just without this. Just like, God, please help me with feeling better right now. Okay, just say something like that. Something you think you need right now. And if you're not like a God person, just do something else, like universe, nature, or watch one of the Nam videos on that topic, because there's a few. But just set an intention, and do that 10 times. Say it to yourself 10 times. Get a good idea. Just say something to yourself 10 times. And just let me know when you're done. God, I want this. Vaheguru Ji, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ 10 ਵਾਰੀ ਕਹਿ ਦੋ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਜੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਪਲ ਉੱਠਦਾ ਪਲ ਤੋਂ ਛੁਡਾ ਦੋ I'm having a craving, I want to stop. Be practical. Say that like 10 times. Done? Oh, kar liya? Now add this little sentence. Same thing, but now you're just going to add mind and body. Send this prayer. Man te tan ardas pecho Vaheguru. And then duara kaho. Then say the whole thing again. Do that about 5-10 times. Go ahead. Whisper it to yourself or out loud. This is important. A lot of people, they say things to themselves in the mind, and that actually increases the amount of refraction. That makes sense, right? You think something, and then 50 other things come up. सोच के ऐसे करते हैं जब मुंह च पढ़ते हैं. There's a lot of opportunity for the different ego states to come in and hijack and change. So when you put something out through your mouth, just say bol ke कहने हैं. When you put something out in your mouth, it's a stronger signal. When you say something in your mind, yeah, there's definitely a signal. But it takes more training, it takes more concentration. Most people in early recovery don't have that. ज़्यादा ध्यान लगता है. ध्यान है नहीं. ये शराब नशा करते हैं, you know, or jua or gambling, whatever it is, or you're just disturbed and angry all the time, you can't focus. So do yourself a favor and just say it, even if no one's around. Do it, especially if no one's around. Just say your prayers out loud. And if someone's around, say them in your mouth. But move your tongue. Whisper them. And you'll find that the signal strength increases. That's a really simple thing. See if it's true. Don't just believe me. Test it. Did you do it? Karya? What did you notice? Anyone?
Helped me with the craving.
Did it? Did you do it? It helped with the craving? Was the first one better or the second one? Pehla kita ya duja?
Repeat.
Jada aa man ta nala jada takda si? Good.
ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੰਸੈਂਟਰੇਸ਼ਨ
Yes.
ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ
So what he's saying is, there's more concentration, because what you do when you include this before you do that, you're adjusting your prism. Just for a little while, you're making it a little bit better. You've told it, you cannot refract this, you have to send it straight, and then it does less funny business. It won't stay like that, but at least your thing will go and get heard. Then, depending on what you ask for, it's good to ask for things that are going to straighten out your prism. Straighten out your mind, make it less refractory. ਉਹ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰੋ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਘੱਟ ਖਿਲ ਰਿਹਾ. And then things will go faster through it, right? Recovery is that journey of straightening this out. But you can be very direct about it if you just use ardas or prayer or intention setting. And yeah, so adding the sentence helps you for the next few seconds, but that's all it takes to say the thing. And that's all it takes to get out of a craving. That's all it takes. Does that make sense? Samjhonde ji? You have to learn to work with your mind. Drugs aren't going to fix you. Drugs are going to stabilize you, yes. Some people need that. Medications and stuff, you know. I prescribe it. Antidepressants, sleeping pills. These things aren't going to fix the system. But you can fix the system. Or rather, you can ask for the energy it takes to fix the system. And it's just a simple intervention. There's other things that I'll get into in later Nam Academies, but for now, this is a simple tool and a relatively short video. 22 minutes. Any further questions before I close? Koi aur question hai ki? Oh, thank you. My apologies if I misspoke. Last thing I'll mention. So, your relationship with this, that's way beyond my pay grade. That's like religion, that's, you know, I don't know much about much. I don't even know much about my own. I'm just an idiot. So, but my interest is in this, because this is what we all have. We all have a mind and body. We all have pain. We all have things. And we can do things to improve this. There's principles that govern this. And you've heard me say again and again, humans are not that different. What I mean by that, this structure is not that different. The details are different. Something's going to refract in different ways. The components of it are not different, but the fact that there's a refractory process, the fact that it can be refocused, no one's mind is so broken. No one's mind is so broken that it cannot be refracted. But it's going to be different things, yes. Different words, yes. But is it possible? Yes. And I commonly tell people I can hold the hope for them until they can hold it for themselves. Because that's true. I see miracles all the time. So for me, it's a logical thing to say. But for a person who's stuck in the depths of like whatever, they need to hear that. So I just wanted to mention that as well. Thank you. Have a good day.